This session covering college and career counseling at the elementary level was originally delivered on April 24th, 2024 by three presenters, including Flora Jones, Indiana Department of Education Director of Student Pathways, Laura Buckwright, Coordinator for College and Career Readiness with MSD Warren Township, and myself, Amanda Colhan, Counselor Connect Coordinator. Unfortunately, due to some technical issues, the session was not recorded. While Flora and Laura's slides are not being re-recorded, the slide deck does include their content presented by the whole team and includes several clickable links and resources. Additionally, both Flora and Laura are happy to answer any questions you have regarding GPS alignment as shown in the first several slides and sample activities presented toward the end by Laura. Flora and Laura's contact information is toward the end of the presentation in case you have any questions for them. During the session, we covered GPS alignment, which was presented again by Flora, understanding college and career counseling tiered support through an MT-MDSS framework, and then having access to sample planning tools and Tier 1 college and career activities. Flora Jones from the Department of Education shared that we need to provide a foundation to support elementary learner-focused students, leading them to pathways that will increase their exploration phase to middle school engagement. If I can see it, I can be it. Indiana's GPS, or Graduates Prepared to Succeed, has provided a foundation that embeds the necessary skills needed for post-secondary success. The GPS characteristics include academic mastery, so taking what students learn in class and applying it to real-life settings, career and post-secondary readiness, credentials and experiences such as dual credit, dual enrollment, and certifications, communication and collaboration, teaching students how to communicate effectively and to collaborate with their peers and others, work ethic, sharing the importance of coming to school every day and also coming on time and completing assignments as requested, civic, financial, and digital literacy, teaching students how to be great members of their community, financial responsibility, and responsible digital literacy. Connecting the elementary students' exploration with Indiana's GPS, Graduates Prepared to Succeed, will set the stage for their navigation through elementary success. Junior Achievement is making a difference. The Department of Education has partnered with Junior Achievement as they build out curriculum and resources to support elementary age students in the areas of character education, career exploration, and engagement. These next few slides dive more into Junior Achievement and the support provided around career exploration at each of the grade level bands from pre-K to 5. The slides then go into career engagement occurring in grades 6 through 8. Again, if you have any questions about the content on the previous slides, please feel free to reach out to Flora Jones. Most, if not all of you, have probably heard about multi-tiered system of supports, or MTSS, and have seen this diagram showing the different tiers of academic and social emotional or behavioral support. The Hatching Results team took MTSS a step further to include the college and career domain as well, turning it into multi-tiered, multi-domain system of supports, or MT-MDSS. This captures the bigger picture of those supports that school counselors deliver, including all three domains, the academic, social emotional, and college and career. These domains can be broken into universal support for all students, or Tier 1, targeted support for some students, Tier 2, and then intensive supports for few students, Tier 3. We'll break this down a bit more in the next few slides. If you want to hear more about MT-MDSS, there is a short video linked on the right where it says Hatching Results video. Indiana recently went through a process to outline what career advising should look like across PK to 12 using the multi-tiered system of support framework. The diagram here, similar to the one shown in the previous slide, includes examples of tiered support for Explore, or PK to 5, Engage, grades 6 to 8, and Experience, grades 9 to 12. Their framework is linked on this slide and includes milestones by component and grade level, as well as aligned activities. The components are grouped by explore, engage, and experience, with explore occurring across PK to 12, engage in grades 6 to 12, and experiences mostly in grades 9 through 12. The framework is a multi-year process supporting students from learner to earner and fosters developmentally appropriate practices and milestones for students. So what should students know and be able to do by the end of grade 5? The PK to 5 band here demonstrates that for self-awareness, the student is able to identify and express their strengths, values, and interests. The framework then goes on to include sample activities aligned to the components. To go along with the self-awareness milestone example, a sample activity for grades PK to 5 might be a values and strengths assessment, which could be a Tier 1 support for all students. Results for such an assessment could be used at the classroom, small group, or individual student levels and would be great conversation starters at this age, also allowing for more in-depth exploration into a few specific career options based on their strengths and interests. Sharing results with families would also be important here so they could continue those conversations at home. On this slide, I've also included some resources important for the Tier 1 level. The Indiana Employability Skills Standards are required and would be important to include in the daily teaching and learning that occurs in the classroom and then reinforced in those classroom career counseling lessons. The Ask a Student Mindsets and Behaviors and Indiana School Counselor Competencies for Students are also included. Another great resource is the Career Conversation Starters from ASCA. They have created these for the elementary, all levels, including the elementary level, which could be used at the classroom, small group, individual, and student level, and could also be shared with families to use at home. They have included questions specifically for families in the elementary document. You might consider sending these home during College Go Week. Tier 1, every student. It's important to remember that Tier 1 is for every single student. Content received by all students. If delivering a classroom lesson, it would include having a plan to teach those students who missed school that day. So all means all here. Additionally, and ideally, Tier 1 lessons being delivered at one elementary school are also being delivered at the other elementary schools of the district. This may include 3 or more main lessons per grade level, covering each of the 3 domains. What are the most important topics for each of the 3 domains that you would want all of the students in your district to receive? This is also helpful when your students transfer between your elementary schools. A great discussion to have in your district counseling meetings and should be based on data to determine those priority topics and should cover those employability skill standards for the career lesson. So what does Tier 1 look like in the area of career counseling? It could be a strengths and values assessment or interest inventory delivered to all students in a classroom setting. Core curriculum and instruction, so including content taught by the classroom teacher and or by the school counselor aligned to employability skill standards. I'm excited to share that we'll be releasing a statewide counseling curriculum library this fall, which will include at least 3 lessons covering each of the 3 domains for each grade level, K to 12, plus any state required student lessons. So look for this to be posted this fall and feel free to use and customize as needed. Individual student planning, which actually occurs more at the secondary level. The Indiana graduation plan initially was required starting in grade 6, but it was recently changed to grade 8. I have included more information about this requirement in the next slide, just for your information. School-wide programs and activities. At this age, it's always fun to host Touch a Truck, have college and career spirit days where students dress up, do an Adopt a College, which may include each grade level or classroom decorating their door with a different college. There might be a bulletin board where teachers indicate where they attended college on a map, or maybe showcase the college pendants. A bulletin board may also be used for showcasing different careers. So put the information in locations where students see it often. This might be in the cafeteria line while they're kind of waiting in line to get their lunch. Could be in the hallway they walk past every day when going to and from the buses. The more visible it is, the more it will stick with the student. Hosting a career fair or career day for your 4th or 5th graders. Involve community partners and allow your students to visit and talk to the different professionals joining you. And then individual student planning, again, this is required in grade 8, but here you have some different tools and links, and also the statute that indicates what the requirement is. Parent education. Include different resources in your parent newsletters. Perhaps feature a different career conversation starter each month from those Ask a documents I shared a few slides ago. Introduce caregivers to the College Choice 529. This is the best time to do it so they can open it early and start saving now. You could share this through a newsletter, maybe create a short video, host a parent education night, have materials available at your ice cream social, open house, anytime you have parents in the building. Hosting a book study with parents. There is a link here to a DIY guide on hosting a book study for families. While it doesn't specifically include a career-specific study, there are some great tips and resources that could be applied with a book that's relevant to career or those employability and soft skills. 21st Century Scholars starts in middle school, but it would be important to start introducing it at this level, perhaps with other information shared around saving for college. So tiers 2 and 3, targeted career counseling support really typically occurs more at the secondary level. At the elementary level, tier 2 is going to look more like supplemental academic, attendance, and social emotional intervention and support. At tier 2, this might include small group work for those employability skills, such as self-awareness, time management, regulation, and collaboration. It may also include pairing students with a mentor, a trusted adult who can meet with a student weekly or monthly to help build those relational and employability skills. Academically, it may be tier 2 supplemental instruction and support, and possibly even pairing the student with a tutor. Family collaboration may also be a key component of tier 2. Taking attendance, for example, if the student isn't attending school or showing up late regularly, at this age, it will be crucial, of course, to involve the caregivers. As we know, poor attendance impacts the student's access to instruction and ability to successfully learn the content, which will cause the student to get further and further behind academically. Referral to community services may need to occur, especially at the tier 3 level. If the student's basic needs aren't being met, they can't learn, which will have a big impact later on with career readiness. So that's a lot of information. Where to start? Student data may include responses to a student survey covering academic, career, and social emotional domains. It could also include reviewing responses to student values and strengths inventories. But before we deliver career awareness and exploration activities, it's important for us to review that data. Also important to look at state requirements, identify career counseling goals, and develop tier 1 career counseling action plan. So again, the data could be those responses to a survey, reviewing student inventories. Other data that would be important here could include attendance and discipline data, but all of this data is important to help identify and prioritize that tier 1 support. Identifying career counseling goals at the district and building levels would be a natural next step. Next, maybe would be to determine how to meet those goals. So starting with those required employability skills standards and mapping out how, when, and by whom each of the standards will be taught and reinforced through counseling lessons, or taught through the counseling lesson and continuously reinforced in the classroom. Now you're really starting to develop that tier 1 career counseling action plan. On this slide, you'll also see some tools. There is a sample that was just started of the action plan, and then also a blank copy for your use. Other resources here include the MT-MDSS tiered support diagram from Hatching Results, which might be useful to use with your district and or your building level teams. Using the blank form, you can start with those activities you are already providing your students. And then doing this exercise can help to identify any gaps in services across the different domains and the different tiers. Also included on the slide is an Ask a Lesson Plan template if you need to create a counseling lesson plan. As previously shared, we will be releasing counseling lessons this fall, so you might also look there. There are some wonderful lessons that can be found online as well. Additionally, we're hearing of people developing lessons through AI. I've actually linked here the Magic School in case you want to play around with that to create a lesson, a letter home to families, or a newsletter blurb. Here are a list of questions for you to consider with your teams as you review your data, identify needs and goals, and develop an action plan. And these were taken from the Employability Skills Implementation Guide. More resources are linked here, some of which also include sample lesson plans and tools to use with students. So play around, click on, everything is clickable here, so take a look. I did hear during the live presentation, I believe, that the Pause and Jobland, which used to be free, I think now they might charge for some of those lessons. So just an FYI. These next several slides were presented by Laura Buckerite, and Laura's district utilizes Zello and has really found it to be a useful tool. Laura, in these slides, linked in some videos for you to view if you want to learn more about Zello. Laura also shared that there are some really great resources offered through Junior Achievement. I know Flora mentioned Junior Achievement in her slides as well. The website includes some interactive learning activities for students and some free resources for teachers and parents. And those are linked here at the bottom of the slide if you want to take a look. Laura also shared that in her district, their fourth graders take a field trip to their local career center, which is an awesome way for students to learn about different careers and the different options that will be available to them once they get to high school. Beable is another resource with more information shown in the video here. I do want to point out, if your district is a member of one of the 9 educational service centers in Indiana, you can receive a discounted pricing for both Zello and Beable. So if you are considering working with either or using either of their platforms, reach out if you have questions before you commit or purchase anything, so you can ask about that discount. Laura also shared how her district participates in a March Madness challenge during peak basketball season, and said a lot of her students really get excited about that. Again, if you have any questions about any of the content shown, please feel free to reach out to the respective presenter shown here. Here are some additional resources. Career Counseling 101 was recorded by a high school counselor, I believe in March of this year, and delivered to our new counselor cadre. In this video, she shared a ton of information, so check it out if you have a chance. Finally, here is a very short session evaluation and a PGP request. So if you do want to receive one PGP for viewing today's webinar, then you can visit the link here, fill that out, and that PGP will be emailed directly to you. The other thing I want to point out on this slide is the digital content library that is linked. If you click on that, it will take you to a Google spreadsheet that includes all of the on-demand sessions or sessions that were recorded through Counselor Connect and Keep Indiana Learning. So a lot of great information there. So take a look at it, save it, bookmark it, and then you can go back to it because we're constantly adding new sessions. Also, we post our blogs, DIY guides, and podcast episodes that are relevant to student service professionals here as well. Finally, some upcoming events: Comprehensive Student Wellbeing Teams session, Talk Data to Me, a live Q&A. And then we have started posting our PD for next school year. This is the first one, which is August 21st, More Than Spirit Week, Career Development at the Elementary Level. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this topic, then visit this. You can click on the graphic here to be taken to the registration page. Do also want to mention our summer conference, MidCon, for middle level educators. It is in June in Westfield, Indiana. Finally, some additional on-demand learning and listening, and then my contact information. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.